Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, and this week is Experience Week. So, it is really cloudy outside. Anyway, I want to talk about my very first concert, which was the R5 concert, and me and my friend at the time, we've been like obsessing over them, like, as you can tell, like my posters and stuff. I have a lot more around my room, but, um, so when we heard that they were doing a tour, like around the country, we're like, okay, they better come to Arizona, and they did. So we like completely freaked out. We were like trying to figure out like rides and like where it was and what time it was, and like how much the tickets were. So when we found out how much the tickets were, they were like $35, which isn't that much. So we were trying to figure out the rides, and we found out that we had to buy our tickets together, otherwise we'd be like separated, and my grandparents wouldn't let me go without like an adult there with us. So what ended up happening was her brother ended up going, because he's like 20 something, I don't know. But he had a car so he could take us there and back. And so we got everything sorted out, and we got our tickets online, so they were supposed to come in the mail, but mine didn't come in till like 2 weeks before the event, and I was like freaking out because I'm like, if I don't get this ticket, I will cry. But I eventually got in the mail, and I freaked out, and I told my friend, and we're like, I can't believe this is happening. So on the day before, we're just like, we couldn't even focus. Like, we had school, and we can't even like focus on it because we're going to see our favorite band the next day. So the next day came, and she I went over to her house. I got ready here. I like did my makeup, and I like wore my best outfit. Yeah. And I went over to her house, and her brother, he like let us play like music, so he just played their music the entire time. And when we got there, we were like in front of the line, like they let people in who had like the VIP passes, and they let them in first. But after that, we were right in front of the line. So we were just like standing outside for like an hour, and we are just like, oh my gosh, we were like in shock. Like, we were like, I can't believe this is actually happening. So once we actually got in there, it was actually like a high school auditorium. So it was like a performing arts building, like it had seats and everything. So when we sat down, um, we actually their younger brother named Ryland, um, he was actually DJing that night, and it was his first time DJing. And might I say, he did a really good job. It was great. We were just like jamming out like crazy. And so, for those of you who don't know who are in the band, Riker is the oldest. He plays the bass. Then there's Rydell. She's the only girl. She's on the keyboard. Then there's Luke. I mean, not Luke. Uh, Ross. He's the lead singer, and you obviously probably know him from Austin and Ally. Then there's Ratliff, which is Ellington Ratliff, but he's the drummer. And then there's Rocky, which he is the other guitarist, like lead guitarist. And then there's Ryland, who's their manager slash DJ. So when we got there, we sat down, and we saw Ryland like off to the side, and we're just like freaking out. We're like, oh my god, is that Ryland? I'm like, no, that's not Ryland. I look over, and it is. And we were like freaking out. Everyone was freaking out, but we obviously couldn't get to him, so we just sat down and like waited a little bit and like started taking pictures. And then Ryland came on, and he started DJing, and um, then R5 finally came on, and it was the greatest moment of my life. I didn't want it to end. Like, it was so great. They were amazing. And then right after, they said that this will be like their last time signing anything. So me and her were like stressing out. We're like, I don't know what we want them to sign. What should we have them sign? I was like, I'm gonna have them sign my phone case. So when we were like halfway up the line, their father actually went around handing out posters, which my friend bought me one and bought her one. And then we got all of their autographs. And this is like my most prized possession. That's Rylan, that's Riker, that's Rydell, that's Ross, that's Ratliff's, and then that's Rocky's. So, right after, we were just like holding it like against the seat of the chair. We're just like in shock. Like, we couldn't believe that we met them. Riker's my favorite. So, I was just like, oh my god, they're so much hotter in person than I ever thought they would be. And she loves Ross. So, when we got in the car, we were just like, oh my god, we were breathing the same air as them. It was crazy, and we couldn't like stop screaming when we got in the car, and her brother was like, you guys need to calm down, and we're just like, no, we can't. So we were like freaking out for like hours on end, and he took us to McDonald's and we had food, and then we went home, and we couldn't stop talking about it. It was the greatest moment of my life, and I didn't want it to end, but it did, and they didn't come back here yet, and I want to go to another one of their concerts, but I don't know who to go with because I'm not really friends with her anymore. But yeah, so that is my experience. It was the greatest moment of my life before I went to VidCon with Brooke, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel. I post videos every Wednesday. Thank you guys.